We are here today to listen to Lucian Wong. He'll be speaking today on the subject of At the Margins of the Mainstream, sources for a revisionist history of Raganuga Bhakti. Before we introduce Lucian, a little bit of background story is necessary for everyone to understand why we are here. The Institute of Language Studies and Research has been pursuing a research project, and Dr. Shati Koho, Dr. Murshid Alam, and myself, we are engaged in a project which we call mapping the minor intellectual traditions. Minor, we put it within quote, minor intellectual traditions of Bengal. And as part of that project, we have been running this project for the last almost 1.5 years, I guess. And we have invited various scholars who are renowned in this field, including Professor Tony Stewart, who is sadly no more with us. And it was Tony who introduced us with Lucian, and got to know about Lucian's work. And since then, we have been thinking of inviting Lucian for a discussion on a subject which comes within the larger rubric of the project that I mentioned. Now, then we got to know that Lucian is coming for his own research work in Kolkata, and that was the right moment for us to organize this talk. We have heard from Tony Stewart about his recent work on the Raimongal Kappo, Jogura Pipi, Jogura Nama, and Satyanarayana Puthi. This is something that we have called quote unquote micro texts from Bengal, because these do not come to the public domain largely. Scholars are mostly talking about mainstream canonical work, whereas we are involved and interested in scholarships on Sahajiya Sahitya, on Vaishnava religious texts, and Sufi texts, and many other areas of studies, which we club within this category of quote-unquote minor intellectual traditions from Bengal. So it is that is the backdrop for us. I would request Murshid to briefly talk about the project, and then I will introduce Lucian, and then I will hand it over to Lucian. So Murshid, if you can briefly share the idea of the project.
Thank you. As Professor Purmas has mentioned, this is a joint project jointly undertaken by ILSR, Institute of Language Studies and Research, Kolkata, and Ambedkar Center for Social and Cultural Studies, Gaur College, Malda. The project is about locating and disseminating the minor, quote-unquote minor, epistemic traditions and discursive practices from Bengal. What do we mean by minor epistemic and discursive traditions? The traditions, epistemes, discourses that remain outside or resist the normative elite academic zones and spheres of influence. Pick up any book on the intellectual tradition from Bengal, or the political tradition from Bengal, or the culture from Bengal, and you will usually come across thinkers, writers coming mainly from the upper class, upper caste, social milieu, and mostly from Kolkata. So, what about those traditions? Thought geographies that remain outside and in a way resistant to this hegemonic normative discursive practice. So we tried to locate and to mainstream these intellectual practices. That's the aim of the project. we think that there is a sort of epistemic injustice within the very post-colonial agenda that we talk about, because it is very much centered to the metropole, Kolkata, and the dominant, discursive practices. So, addressing that epistemic injustice, we perhaps need to, uh, provincialize Kolkata, as I was talking to Professor Wong a few minutes back. So that has been the aim and objective of the project, and keeping in mind that aim and objective of the project, we have so far organized conferences, seminars, not only here, we also went outside Calcutta, we went to Malda and organized seminars there, and we had academics from across the world, discussing these issues, and also from, quote-unquote unknown academics, practitioners, cultural practitioners, they also addressed us. So that has been, one of the aspects of the modus operandi. So we will, get to know about things, map those traditions, and then later on we will try to disseminate through publication and other academic writings. So that is the project in a nutshell. Now I request Professor Kolkata to introduce our speaker today.
Thank you, Lucian. Before I introduce Lucian, may I request Dr. Cooper to formally felicitate Lucian. Thank you.